Alright, so welcome everyone, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the hardest career series. So today's episode I'm going to be starting our early altitude records and if possible our early airspeed records as well. With the altitude records, well, it took the 2,500 metre 2.5 kilometre or 8,000 feet thereabouts altitude contract, but with this one you have to use an air breathing engine. It cannot be a rocket engine, so you can't build a rocket plane or something like that. So I'm going to try this with the motorized glide that we used before in the previous episode. So I've already got one building, about 4 hours 37 minutes. It could be the middle of the night though, so we'll let it go forward to the next morning. And then we shall head to the runway and try to get to this altitude. It may or may not get up there. Okay, first attempt at 2,500 metres. SS is on. Okay, just past 2,100 metres in altitude. We've got a world's first altitude record over 2,000 metres. Ooh. Just under, about 240 under 6,000. On size one reputation as well. That's nice, that's welcomed. So it took about 10 minutes to get up to this altitude. We can't sort of pitch it, so I've had to use the Cramax autopilot to hold at about 4 metres a second vertical speed. We'll also hold the wings level as well. So it does seem to be rolling off towards the right, and then all of a sudden it starts rolling off to the left. You try and balance it out, so it is very heavy though, as you can see down here. 1.5 tonnes. And for these wings, they don't generate a great deal of lift, but they do generate a lot of drag, which is something you don't really want. Okay. I don't think there's any way we're going to get any higher with this. It will drop off quite drastic once we reach about 3,000 metres. They're generating 2.1 kilonewtons in thrust. That will probably go down quite sharp, like I said, about 3 kilometres in altitude. Alright, so that's that, 2,500 metres. Alright, wants us to land at the runway. Okay, go head back, we're going to land. Let's see what the contracts we've got for the altitude. We should start getting the airspeed record contracts now as well, but we shall have to see. Coming for a bit of a gliding touchdown. If you pitch down too hard, you increase airspeed, at which point these propelators sort of stall and stop working. No big deal though. The airspeed down a little bit. Cool. Yeah, we definitely do need to upgrade this runway as soon as possible. Phew. You okay there, Val? She looks like she's in shock to me, but never mind. Okay, that's the contract done. That's 2,500 metres, 4,800 cash, 2 signs, 3 reputation. Your price release. Hopefully she goes up in skill level. Okay, let's see. So I recover the aircraft. Okay, so fully recovered. Got 18.3 signs. Didn't get anything as far as science is concerned except from the contract and that world's first. All the aircraft back, no problems at all. No malfunctions either. So scrap has, I wouldn't say it's being tamed, but as far as those aircraft set parts. Okay, and still no experience gain. That's weird. Oh well. I do have a mod installed that's called training facility, field training facility. I think it's probably a good job because I don't think they're going to get any experience until they do something other Kerbals haven't done, which means it'll be quite difficult if you don't have something like I said, field training facility installed, but never mind. Okay, let's see what else Gene's got for us. Ah, there we go. Achieve an airspeed of 100 meters per second. I'm going to try that. I don't think I'm going to be able to stick with the motorised glider though. And find aircraft at 5,000 meters. Again, I believe it should be yeah. So no rockets. Once again, it's got to be an air-breathing aircraft engine. This has also got to be an air-breathing engine as well. Between 2,500 meters and 5,000 meters, 100 meters per second, obvious, with less than 10 meters per second of vertical speed. So you're capturing a nosedive. So that would be pretty easy to do. Okay, I'm going to have to head into the aircraft hangar and design something that can go to 100 meters per second. The motorized glider will not do that. So I'll see what I can put together, and then I will bring you all in and show you what I've been working on. Then we'll head out and test it. Okay, so this is the Bi-Wing Mark 1. So it's 2 sets of wings basically. Got the biplane engine. We have got other engines to choose from, but so we'll start with the biplane engine. Pretty much standard fire spitter parts, so we'll see what we can get out of this. I don't think we're going to get much out higher than 5 kilometers. Even with the extra wing, it is only a very short wing. Alright, so also because we've got TACLS installed, we have to provide oxygen to our crew if we go above 5 kilometers. In fact, I think it's about 4.5 kilometers, something like that, I think it is. Now, we could do that with an EVA suit with the external command seat, but it's easier to do it with this. One disadvantage using a cockpit is because we haven't upgraded the astronaut complex just yet, we can't actually escape from this. We can't get out while it's in the air. With the external command seat we could. We could just jump out and use a parachute. So if we have a problem, well, we're going to have to crash as best we can and try and stop the pilot from getting killed, whichever one it is, whether it's Jeb or Valentina. It'll take 8 days, 43 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, so here we go. So Valentina is once again flying. I want us to go up some levels at least one level. Get some experience. Okay, check the control surfaces. Okay, so here we go. This is rated as terrible, just so you all know. So it could sort of go boom, banger, bang. Hopefully she doesn't get killed. Obviously, like I said in the aircraft hangar, she cannot jump out the aircraft cockpit. So hopefully nothing goes wrong. But it's likely to. So we'll head up to the 2,500 meters that we got up to before, then we'll try and get to 5,000 meters, 5 kilometers, as quickly as possible. It is well balanced though, it's nice to fly. We are climbing at about 10 meters per second, so at this rate it shouldn't take too long to get there. Okay, just past 4.5 kilometres. Performing quite nicely. 4,700. So we have got a jammed control surface. This tailplane again. So the port side tailplane, or left hand, it won't repair. So I've deactivated this side, just keep the balance. Right, so that should be it. 100 meters per second. So we'll try the 100 meters per second in level flight. I'm going to use... Of course, you shouldn't really do this. Not strictly speaking, because we didn't have... With biplanes, we didn't actually have autopilots, but... Never mind. So we shall level out. We'll keep it full throttle. Turn SAS off. And straight to level flight, but we can go up to 9... Well, technically 9.9 meters per second in a dive. We would still qualify for the contract. We can't go above 10 meters per second. We'll hold it for 5 seconds. Got plenty of fuel. Unfortunately, for some reason the biplane engine doesn't seem to give me any readouts when it comes to delta V or burn time or anything. The other propeller engines seem to work fine, so it's just this engine. We're at 93.8. Well, that's 10 meters per second. We don't want that. We'll go to 9. No, not... Oh, good grief. My fault. Put a positive number instead of a negative. 96. 97. 98 meters per second. 0.5 away. And there we go. Hold for 5 seconds. Should get the tick. Come on. There we go. Fly faster than 100 meters per second with less than 10 meters per second vertical speed. Wait a minute, we're not doing that. For some reason this is incorrect then. So 8 meters per second, will it give me it then? There we go. So obviously this must be about 1 meter per second out compared to what the contract was expecting. Interesting. So that's that contract done. That's 2 contracts done actually. As long as we can land and survive the landing, Valentina. So the quicker we can get back, the better. Okay, on final approach. Still a slight wobble. Yeah, and also we've got quite a bumpy one where... Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, once it goes, it goes. Well, never mind. Let's put that on. Okay, so that's both contracts completed. So 5,000 meters and you didn't hit a bird, great job. Unfortunately, hitting a bird is what the last pilot to attempt this challenge said before he spiraled out of control from 4,500 meters and left a crater near the administration building. Unkerballed makes preparations to turn the crater into a memorial pond for aviation pioneers. Both Orville Kerman and Enigma Kerman congratulate you on returning safely. Enigma says Gap has a challenge waiting for you back at Mission Control if you're interested. 9,600. Wow. It's a lot. 2 size and 3 reputation. And achieving airspeed 100 meters per second. Airspeed of 100 meters per second. You've justified Curtis Kerman's theories on high-speed air flight and brought another measure of fame and reputation to Wright Aeronautical. Sponsors are starting to ask how they can support the new airspeed frontier. Check in with Mission Control to see if Wright Aeronautical has another contract waiting for you. 4,800 cash. 2 size and 3 reputation. Okay, let's go ahead and recover. Okay, so fully recovered. I also took a crew report. Well, I was actually in the air, so I've got 5 data for that, so that's worth 2.1 science. I've got 24.4, which is handy because I need to unlock the next tier of avionics. Okay, 15,115. That's all the parts on the aircraft. Still no reputation gain either. And no experience gain for Valentina again. And no new ribbons. Yeah. Unexpected. Oh, well, let's carry on. Alright, so what else do we have? We have 220 meters per second. Should be an aircraft. Yeah, so it's an air breathing engine once again. Yeah, same stipulated requirements. 10 meters per second vertical speed. No more than that. As we find out, the Cramax Autopilot for some reason is reporting 1 meter per second discrepancy. Well, we can handle that. We've got flying aircraft to 10,000 meters. Okay, again, an air breathing engine cannot be a liquid fuel and oxidizer, so it's got to be an air breathing engine, or jet engine, or a propeller engine. So we'll have to see what we can do. So we'll see how high we can take the biplane before we have to change to something else. 220 meters per second will not be capable of achieving that with the standard biplane model we've got right now, at least. That is for certain. Okay, so I'm heading to the aircraft hangar. Bring you all the way onto film once I've finished. I'll show you what I've been working on. Then I'll head out and test it. Okay, so this is the Bi-Wing Mark II. All I've done for now is swap the engine out for the J0-K-25V Cyclone. So that's this one just here. We do have available through the prototype marketplace this one. Developed 65 kilonewtons at sea level, apparently. Okay, so this one is supposed to generate 54 kilonewtons, but sea level it's set to 8.881 kilonewtons. So in the atmosphere, on the runway, it's set to 8.8. If we increase the altitude, 49.764, so that's quite good. That's good news because we need to be able to reach 220 meters per second, and it's altitude you want to be able to do it at, which is a maximum of between 2.5 kilometers and 5 kilometers, I believe. Yeah, so 2,500 meters and 5,000 meters. Okay, we should be able to do it with this, but obviously straight-edged wings aren't the best for cutting through the air. But we shall see. It's going to take about 3 days. I've already got one building already. It's about 3 days and so many hours. So as soon as it's finished, we shall head out to the runway. And we shall test this and see exactly what performance we actually get out of it. Okay, so here we go. Go do that first. SS on. Okay, so 220 meters per second and 10 kilometers in altitude. Yeah, it's rather wobbly. And it's still wobbling off. It seems to roll off all the time. Okay, how long do we actually have? 6,300. It's actually going up. Right, it's going down now. 6,350 or so seconds. Alright, we're having to head back because we experienced an aerodynamic stall at about 5,500 meters in altitude. We also experienced an air intake failure on the engine, so it's not developing anything like as much power as it was, or as it should be. Okay, another problem with the engine is the fact it wouldn't throttle down. I don't know what's happening there. So we can't touch down at this speed, that is for sure. No, you don't. Oh! Yeah, obviously a little bit sort of nose heavy as well. Well, that's one engine we won't be reusing, that is for sure. Alright, we'll go ahead and recover. Okay, not surprising, we've fully recovered the aircraft except the engine. No signs. And no experience again, not surprising as well. Okay, so this is the Mono Wing Mark 1. Single wing. I've done away with the overhead wing section. Hopefully we've got enough lift being generated. Because these undercarriage still, actually I forgot to check that. Part G force limit, tolerance is 50 Gs, 50 meters per second. So we go up to 50 meters per second on the runway before these things actually blow up. Alright, so hopefully this engine should be able to generate enough power as long as we're not being held back by too much wing surface area. But obviously we need to decrease wing surface area, but it also decreases drag, but it also decreases lift. But we shall have to see. 2 days, 2 hours. Bring that down a little bit. Okay, we've got 5 hours because most of it we've already been using. Already used it. So 5 hours, 32 minutes and 21 seconds. Alright, it's just going to the air. Just managed to get just above the minimum lift capacity of the wings just before we've hit 50 meters per second. So I really do need better undercarriage as well. Take a crew report. That's fine, we'll keep that. We need the science, we need as much science as possible, so even if this does not work, we'll have to take this aircraft back out, or some aircraft, and take some science equipment with me. Because we are running pretty dry on science, 6.4, we need another about 12 points of science to also not the node we need to get the higher tech in the aeronautics section. Okay, let's see how high we can actually get with this aircraft at full throttle. Okay, so the maximum we've just managed to get out of the aircraft is about 5 kilometers. It's actually worse on performance, this engine, than the biplane engine was. So we're going to head back. I'm going to refit the biplane engine. So as soon as we get back, we'll recover the aircraft from the runway and come straight back out to the runway with the biplane engine on here. Same wing design, so I'm going to leave it as a mono wing for now. But you can see the amount of lift it's just not generating, it's just not getting enough flat speed to generate enough lift. So there's one way: you either increase the size of the wings or you increase how fast you can go on the flat line and the flat altitude. But the larger the wing area, the more drag you get. So it counteracts itself. Also, I've got 50 meters a second limit on the undercarriage. Yep, and the runway seems to be quite bumpy as well. There was nothing I could do about that. Nothing at all. Okay, that's good. At least Valentin is still in one piece at least. Okay, let's go ahead and recover. Alright, so this is the Mono Win Mark 1A. Slightly larger wings than before, slightly larger surface area, and I've put the undercarriage a lot further away from each other. Hopefully increases stability on that very sort of rough surface runway that we've got. However, because of that crash we've lost all of our contracts, so I have taken quite a penalty. 55,286 we're down to. Obviously the aircraft's going to cost 12,000. Take 1 day, just over 1 day, just under 1 day, 1 hour, isn't it? Okay, so it's finished, we shall head out, we'll try this again. Okay, so here we go. Another attempt. Okay, that wider stance should help us. Okay, actually I'll leave it there, this view. Okay. I have. Oh, it looks like we're stuck. Yeah, it's this runway. It's ridiculous. It's just. Oh well, Valentina. Would you get a shovel out and take the rearward skid off the runway, please, if you don't mind? Okay, so she's dug the rear skid out. Yeah, once we get this resurfaced, it should be a lot better. But obviously, right now we've got to work with what we've got, which isn't a great deal. Okay, here we go. How about that? Yes, that wider stance and a single wing lets us get off the ground a lot better. A lot earlier as well. Okay, just approaching 7 kilometers in altitude. So we'll turn the aircraft back around just so we're closer to the runway, just in case something goes wrong. Hopefully it doesn't. Go to 5 meters a second. So obviously this engine, obviously it's more reliable anyway. We've used it more times than the previous engines that we've tried to use. The first one, when it swapped out the Cyclone for the replace the biplane engine with, that suffered an air intake malfunction. But insert at speed, they're not as good as this engine. So the faster you go, the less power you get from the engine itself. Okay, 7,000 meters. Climbing quite nicely. 80 meters a second airspeed. We're generating 12.2 kilonewtons. Okay, just exceeded 9,500 meters. We've lost a lot. Yeah, we can't go any higher than this. Unfortunately, it's impossible. We just can't generate enough thrust. It's impossible. So we've got an aerodynamic stall. If we go faster, we should be able to make it. But unfortunately, as far as this technology is concerned, that is the limit. Almost 9,502 meters, but not quite. 2.1 science, that is very handy. Unfortunately, we have failed both the 220 meters per second speed record and the 10-kilometer altitude record anywhere. And I've lost a lot of money. Which wouldn't be too bad if I was collecting some science, but obviously I haven't done that either. Obviously, the more stuff you put on, the more it weighs, so it just made it even less likely to have broken both contract records. They increase drag as well as weight. Anything you put on the outside of the aircraft. Okay, let's head back. Let's see if we can recover the aircraft intact this time. Nice landing. Okay, so aircraft fully recovered. We've got 10.6 signs after collecting that 2.1 from the crew report. Okay, fully recovered. Obviously minus fuel. Still nothing, no reputation either. No extra ribbons. She's already got 2 extra ribbons. One for doing collecting 5 points of science or more. The other one for doing 10 contracts or more. Alright, so that is the end of this episode. Unfortunately, we failed the 10-kilometer altitude record and the 220 meters per second airspeed record, but we did break 100 meters per second. And we also broke the 5-kilometer and the 2.5-kilometer altitude record. Alright, so please join me for the next episode. We'll continue on with the altitude and airspeed records for the time being. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content on this particular series and the other series I'm going through right now and in the future. Don't forget to also have Twitter and Facebook. You'll find the link to both those websites on the banner on the front page of the channel. And if you want to leave a comment or question, by all means, you are most welcome to do so. Okay, so hope to see you next time. In the meantime, take care, and as always, bye bye.